Whether you're a beginner, intermediate or professional producer, you have most likely heard of the name Mike Dean, a key player throughout history to the sound of the likes of Kanye, Travis Scott, The Weeknd and countless other artists. With his huge synth collection you can often tell if a Mike Dean has worked on a track, with cascading synth melodies, thick basses and crazy outros that will have you floating by the end of the track. Today I'll be showing you how to achieve stunning synth melodies and textures in 3 different ways: standalone, outros and budget friendly options. Here's a preview of what I will be covering today. I started with these chords on the Ableton Drift synth. It gave me an ethereal feel, so I made sure to give these chords lots of space within each other. Then I layered this lead, the magic to it is to not overcomplicate it if it doesn't need it. This lead is very simple and is primarily carried by the pitch bend. A key thing that I often see is producers often when trying to make beats for artists create beats that would impress other producers. Now I'm not saying everything needs to be hella simple, but in the instance of creating a beat to stand out to an artist, keep in mind that a more simple melody would leave room for the artist to sing or rap on. I then layered this heavy bass. From a custom Analog Lab 5 patch. Analog Lab 5 is a great plugin, and upon first glance, it must be hella expensive, right? Well, the intro version is free, and I use it religiously. Not to mention, people also make amazing packs for the intro version for free if you're not into sound design. What I often would hear in tracks Mike Dean has worked on are crazy synth rundowns on either the bass, the lead, or both combined. For example, like the outro to the Scots. I did this in my bass and automated the audio to mute on other tracks to get rid of any release spill or reverb spill. For the verse of this track I just created a simple relation of an arpeggiated one-shot, which I will cover in a later part, pad stabs along with a long delay and a deep sub bass. I wanted to keep this as just an instrumental, but was inspired by My Eyes by Travis Scott to lay down these simple drums and create this drop. As mentioned in the intro, Mike Dean is notorious for his crazy synth outros, especially on Travis Scott's tracks. In a previous video I talked about how to make beats like Hyena, and included this Mike Dean styled outro. How I achieved it is by taking an earlier bassline from the beat and expanding it like this. I then layered this lead. What gives it more energy is the bigger leaps between your notes and the heavy reverb. If you haven't got much theory knowledge, or know how to play the piano or keyboard, this may seem daunting to create. If you have a MIDI keyboard, my advice would be to create a lead in either a C major or A minor, which is just all the white keys. Then, transpose it up. What transposing means is moving up every note up or down to the key you want. Say you want to go from C to C sharp, you would just move it up one note. You could simply just mess around with the keyboard, play around, see what pops out to you, see if it works, and then just take and chop how you please. My number one tip to producing beats is to try learning some theory at least. I get that some people say you do not need theory at all, which is partially true, but it makes everything so much easier. There's a link in the bio to a quick overview by Andrew Huang. It's only a half hour, and it's a really good watch. Anyway, let's move on. Now, you might be thinking this is all and well, but your laptop might crack or does not run synths properly. I was there too. A free budget way to achieve this is with one-shots. These are samples of any instrument / synth that are tuned to C, so that you can drag and drop them into your sampler. The pros of this is that there is no CPU usage. It's free. However, the further you get away from C or the original note of the one-shot, the more it sounds less like what you want. To counter this, try adding effects, reverbs, delays just to thicken up the texture. What counters this also is that most one-shot sample packs have a high C and a low C sample, which then you can interchange however you want depending on what octave you're in. And finally, before getting into the instrumental, you can find one-shots virtually anywhere, but Cymatics has pretty good one-shot sample packs and free sample packs in general which also feature one-shots. Let's get back to the topic at hand. Here I use the Cymatics Mirage one-shot pack to lay down these chords, and then layer this one-shot over it. I then layered this deep bass with a small EQ to boost the lows. Then these stabs with a delay to give it some more presence. And finally this lead played by 3 one-shots. To achieve this slide without a MIDI controller, I used Ableton's pitch change under MIDI expression. You can achieve this on FL by just making slide notes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned something new, maybe not. If you could subscribe, that would be great, as we just hit 100 subscribers, which I thank you for, and the road to 1K has officially started. Here's my Instagram. If you could follow me on Spotify, that would also be great too. And on that note, I'll see you in the next one.